Okay, Legion Remix is here, and if you jump in without a plan, you're gonna miss out on a ton of limited time rewards that includes exclusive mounts, transmogs, illusions, titles, and even housing decoration items coming to the game for the very first time, and some of this will never come back again. So in this video, we're breaking down exactly what to do first and how to earn every reward as fast as possible so you can skip the grind, stack your progression, and walk away with everything that actually matters. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to stick around until the end of the video to see how you can earn a free Epic Edition of World of Warcraft Midnight from the Comeback Kids. Now, before we dive into what you should do first, you need to know when everything is coming out because this event rolls out in phases, and understanding that is key to why I'm about to save you dozens of hours when you start. So on launch week, this will unlock Class Order Halls, the Emerald Nightmare, and Trial of Valor raids. It's important because this is when Val'sharah and Stormheim open up. This will let us take full advantage of our 3-for-1 and even 4-for-1 zone stacking routes right out of the gate, so pretty much earn all of the rewards for those zones. After that, every 2 weeks, a new phase will drop with even more rewards, such as Phase 2 on October 21st for the Azshara-themed transmog set, as well as Phase 3 on November 4th for the Fallen King's Corrupted Blades transmog set for all the Broken Shore stuff. And this continues throughout the phases. So now that you know the schedule, let's work on some baseline preparations. Now, first up, you need to make sure you pick the right class. A very important tip if you're playing solo, and if you're just trying to get some rewards, I highly recommend playing something that can kill things in mass AoE fast, heal itself, and even potentially get instant dungeon queues. Legion Remix is all about efficiency, so if you're going to be playing completely solo, I'd probably steer away from a pure DPS class option as much as you can. That would mean picking a class that either has a tank, a healer, or even both. For example, like Demon Hunter, Death Knight, Paladin, Druid, Monk, Priest. All of these are hybrid classes, and the goal here is flexibility and efficiency. If you don't care about any of that crap, just play what's fun for you. Something else that's very crucial in understanding also is the currencies in this mode, because I was very lost figuring all this out for the very first time, and you need to know how it works. Firstly, of course, you have your bronze coins. This is simply for cosmetics only. You can spend it freely, and there's no reason to really hoard onto these, as we're going to be getting a bunch of them throughout the game mode. Next up, you have your Artifactum Sand, which is used to progress the power of your artifact weapon item level, and then you have the Infinite Power, which is the currency to level up your talent tree and progression with your artifact weapon. It's pretty much the main gimmick of power for Legion Remix. I recommend going for pure AoE talents as you level quickly as possible, and through your Legion artifact weapon, try to grab the Holy Power Tree or even this Fell Power Tree. They're very good for AoE damage the second you get their activatable ability, and you will skyrocket in power very quickly. Personally, I'm going down the Holy Tree. I find it cool and very impactful, so you can make that decision on your own. Finally, one of the most important currencies, bar none, is the Infinite Knowledge currency. This right here is the secret sauce behind your entire progression in Legion Remix. This is how you become overpowered fast. Every rank of Infinite Knowledge multiplies your infinite power gains across your entire account. That means the earlier you start earning it, the faster everything else snowballs. That includes your artifact levels, your bronze farming, the rate at which you get transmogs and mounts, your raid clears, everything possible. So the whole idea behind the routes I'm about to show you is that you're going to do activities that stack infinite knowledge as much as possible, while also having you complete campaign progression, reputations, and achievements simultaneously to earn everything in the game possible all at once. This includes for transmogs, pets, mounts, power, cosmetics, weapons, literally the entire reason we're doing Legion Remix. So now that we've gone over all the BS and the setup, here's exactly what to do in your first hour inside of Legion Remix. Follow this step-by-step guide, and I promise you, you'll be on your way. So right when you log in, the first thing you need to do is grab your Legion artifact weapon from the starting quest line. After completing that, you'll be sent straight to the Infinite Bazaar in Dalaran, which is your main hub for the entire event. This is where you'll buy cosmetics, transmogs, mounts with bronze, pick up your infinite research quest, and access vendors, upgrades, and even catch-up systems. Now, these infinite research quests are very important. These are dailies that permanently boost your character and your entire account with things like infinite power gains, bonus bronze, faster XP, and more. So the optimal strategy is very simple. You grab one of these daily quests, complete it while you're doing other objectives and activities, you turn it in, you pick up another quest immediately, rinse and repeat. You always want one of these infinite research quests running in the background, overlapping with everything else we're doing. Also, it's very important to note, you do not have to do these every single day. You can bank and stack up to 6 of these at a time, so if you check in just simply at the end of the week, you can store 6 of them at once and complete them all at one time so you won't miss out. Now, once that's rolling, you're ready to start your very first zone campaign. Technically, you can go anywhere, but if you want the best return for your time in Phase 1, there are 2 zones that give you a big jump. I'll explain why in just a bit, but for now, start with either Val'sharah or Stormheim. These are directly tied into Phase 1's active raids, which are the Emerald Nightmare and the Trial of Valor. This will matter a lot later when we start stacking achievement progression and rewards for Phase 1, for the big ticket items like Val'sharah's Fell Shatter Illusion Weapon enchant, which looks great, as well as the Stormheim Sinister Fell Arsenal, which are 4 unique Fell-infused weapon transmogs. For now, just focused on working on both of these campaigns and all of the side quests along the way that are available. As you quest, it's also important to note you'll notice floating time anomalies as well as demonic enemies in the sky while skyriding. Fly through them because each one of these gives you free bronze and infinite power. It's not much, but it's basically passive progression between destinations, so don't ignore it. So after your first 1 to 2 hours, here's where you should be at. Your artifact unlocks, spec'd into a bunch of AoE talents for AoE farming quickly, 1 to 2 infinite research daily quests completed, your first campaign zone well underway being Val'sharah or Stormheim, as well as a few hundred bronze earned from some of these time anomalies and sky demons. At this point in the event, you are officially ready to start stacking everything together for the perfect Legion Remix route. Listen carefully now because this is very important. Every minute you play Legion Remix, you should be progressing at least 2 or 3 systems at once. You're leveling, infinite knowledge, and your cosmetics, transmogs, or rewards unlocked. And for Phase 1, specifically, there are no better zones in the game than Val'sharah and Stormheim. Almost every single activity inside these 2 zones count toward multiple infinite knowledge achievements, zone completion rewards, and future raid unlocks. Remember, the whole secret sauce is this infinite knowledge here, so this is going to earn you that very quickly. Within Val'sharah, you'll be completing the Lore Runner of Val'sharah, which gives you 1 infinite knowledge for finishing the entire zone's quest line for the main and side quest, the Legion Dungeon, Threat of the Isles, the Emerald Nightmare Raid, which is 1 infinite knowledge once cleared later at max level, the Legion Slayer achievement, which is 1 infinite knowledge for killing 50 empowered enemies, and Unlimited Power, which is 1 infinite knowledge for earning 10,000 infinite power naturally. Remember, the reason we're doing all this is because this is the secret sauce on how we multiply all of our gains substantially. That's why we're doing this. So while we're completing all these things inside of these zones, you're also progressing one of the biggest Phase 1 rewards on top of that, which are the Fell Shatter Illusion Weapon enchant by completing the Val'sharah campaign, the dungeons, and the Emerald Nightmare raid. That means Val'sharah is effectively a 4-for-1 route. You're leveling, you're earning knowledge, power, unlocking a major cosmetic, and building raid progress all at once. Additionally, as a bonus, completing a full campaign zone also will give you an account-wide bonus XP for your alternate characters, so it's worth finishing these entirely if you plan on playing multiple characters. Additionally, when you have Val'sharah complete, you can head straight to Stormheim for your second stacking route. This zone connects to the Trial of Valor raid, and just like before, nearly every objective will overlap. You have the Lore Runner of Stormheim to earn you 1 knowledge, Legion Dungeons for the Might of the Legion achievement for 1 knowledge, Trial of Valor raid clear for 1 knowledge, and then plus progress toward the Sinister Fell Arsenal rare achievement for the 4 Fell-infused weapon transmogs by finishing the zone campaign and its dungeon as well as raid objective. By the end of Stormheim, you'll have stacked another 3 to 4 knowledge ranks, become fully ready for completing another raid, and earn progress toward one of the most sought after transmogs for Phase 1. Remember, the goal here is to stack as many infinite knowledge ranks as possible while naturally progressing the rest of the game. Each rank will permanently increase your infinite power gain account-wide. I cannot stress this enough. So by knocking all of this out early, you're saving yourself dozens of hours later on. This is how Legion Remix opens up and you become completely overpowered and broken doing anything you want in the game. Keep in mind, this is only Phase 1. Phase 2 will launch on October 21st, and that will open up Suramar, which will introduce another 4-for-1 route with its campaign, dungeons, the Nighthole raid, etc. And that will lead us for the highly sought-after Ajara Transmog set. Val'sharah and Stormheim are your Phase 1 power zones. They give us everything at once, so focus on them. Now, after you completing your first couple campaign zones, you should now have the opportunity to flip to Heroic World Tier. Now, this is where you're kind of at a bit of a crossroads. The XP and bronze gains from Heroic World Tier are incredible. There are points where I was leveling up during testing in a matter of minutes at a time. The problem is, I was leveling so fast that I could not keep up with the mobs that I was fighting, and I would end up getting outscaled and getting my ass kicked very quickly. Most importantly though, this is where you start running into empowered enemies. Every empowered enemy kill drops extra bonds, a massive amount of experience, infinite power, and progress toward a very important Legion Slayer achievement. This will directly feed into more infinite knowledge ranks, so you need to complete this ASAP. So once you start feeling strong and comfortable with your pulls in normal, swap over to Heroic World Tier, farm out these mobs, and get this achievement. For reference, I was testing this all in a Protection Paladin, and I could pull an absolutely ridiculous number of mobs all at once, which made these farms crazy efficient solo. After dozens of hours of testing, I found 3 locations that consistently gave me the best results for fighting empowered enemies. We have the Murlocs at Bilgefin Shore and Morheim on the far east coast of Stormheim here on the map, the Faranar demon mobs out west in Azuna on the map, and the Murlocs on the coast right beside the Academy in Azuna on the west side. These areas are packed with empowered mobs that respawn very quickly and drop solid rewards. They're easily some of the fastest and most reliable methods I found, so if you find other great spots, let me know about it in the comments section below, as I would love to add them to a guide. Now, even though it is tempting to just sit here and farm mobs endlessly for hours in Heroic World Tier, remember our goal is efficiency. If you're only farming mobs for XP and leveling, you're not stacking multiple systems. So personally, I'm going to kill my 50 empowered mobs, get my achievement, and then go back to normal to continue my 4-for-1 snowball method and get those done as soon as possible. Once you get a bit more gear and start feeling overpowered, that's when you can flip back into Heroic again to passively boost XP and bronze while doing other objectives. It's a constant dance, swap up or down depending on how strong you feel, so you're always farming efficiently without falling behind in power. If you get too strong, go to Heroic. If Heroic you feel too weak, go back to normal, so on and so forth. And don't forget, during this time, you should also be working toward your 2 dungeon achievements available in Phase 1, which include the Threat of the Isles and the Might of the Legion. These reward you infinite research, which is absolutely mandatory for maximizing your infinite knowledge progression. Even if it means queuing up specifically for these dungeons while you're doing these activities, just do it because you need to make sure you get this done as early as possible. So now at this point, you should be in full swing of the Legion Remix mode and heading toward the end game. Now just remember to try and finish as many main story campaign zones and side quests as possible because you want to focus on the real meat of content right when you hit max level. From this point, your focus will shift from leveling and stacking knowledge into completing the capstone content, which include raids, world bosses, Mythic Plus, etc. You'll want to start off by running LFR versions of Emerald Nightmare and Trial of Valor. These not only will finish your zone completion achievements for Val'sharah and Stormheim, but also unlock your Fell Shatter Illusion and Sinister Fell Arsenal cosmetics if you completed their campaigns and dungeons already. Each of the raid clears will give you infinite knowledge for the raid achievements, a massive chunk of infinite power and bronze, and of course a chance at some rare boss cosmetics and very powerful raid items. Remember, after LFR, technically you can go into normal and heroic raids, and the reason you'd want to even do that is because they drop higher amounts of infinite power per boss, and bronze, which scales even faster. After doing your LFR, I would start immediately farming the Broken Isles world bosses. Now, I'm not sure how they rotate exactly, but they do count toward the Might of the Legion achievement, which gives us +1 infinite knowledge once completed. So try to get this done as soon as you can. Then after that, you could finally start diving into the time-worn keystones, which are Legion Remix's version of Mythic Plus. It's important to note that if you complete a +7 of any time, you'll be rewarded with the time-worn Challenger achievement, which will additionally give us +1 of our infinite knowledge as well. Additionally, you can push this as high as you want, but I'm going to save Mythic Plus until later, as I kind of think Mythic Plus is a chore personally. Now, even after you hit max level, it's important to flip back to Heroic World tier and kill empowered mobs in complete quest, as they will drop bonus bronze and power, and even count toward the future meta achievement like Heroic Broken Isles World Quest for the eventually Void Scarred Regalia that you can earn. Finally, don't forget your infinite research dailies at the bazaar, and while you're at it, do your best to farm out some of the reputations in each zone from some additional cosmetics and achievements. And now at this point, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the video, the priority recap section. If you do this in the exact order that I tell you to right here, you will progress through Legion Remix as fast as possible. So make sure to screenshot this or pause, as this is your one-stop shop. Step 1, first up, right when you log in for Legion Remix, unlock your artifact weapon, and then go over to the Infinite Bazaar in Dalaran to pick up your first Infinite Research daily. Remember, complete these and then go back to pick up more. When you're ready to pick your campaign starting zone, I highly recommend starting with Val'Sharah or Stormheim, as they're tied to the Emerald Nightmare and Trial of Valor raid. This can have us combine a wide variety of progress all at one time. Additionally, you want to make sure you stack infinite knowledge gains while you're leveling. This includes finishing campaign quests and side quests, completing the early dungeon meta achievements, and even killing 50 empowered enemies in Heroic World tier for even more infinite knowledge. If you're looking for good farming spots, I placed them at earlier in the video with the locations. Remember, you want to constantly dance between normal and Heroic World tier. If things are too trivial and you're dominating content, you're wasting time and efficiency that you could be spending in Heroic World tier to level up faster and gain power quicker. If it gets too hard in Heroic World tier, swap back down to normal, get a bunch of gear, get really OP again, and swap back to Heroic World tier, rinse and repeat. As you're heading toward max level, remember to do your best to complete as many campaign and side quests as possible for your meta achievements. Additionally, once you finally hit endgame, make sure to do as follows. Run LFR for Emerald Nightmare and Trial of Valor for your 2 infinite knowledge. Clear the world bosses in rotation for +1 infinite knowledge, and finish your time-worn keystone +7 for Mythic Plus for another infinite knowledge. At that point, you're just doing maintenance by completing your infinite research dailies, or at least your weekly, because they do stack up to 6. Farm Heroic World tier mobs and reputation for bonus cosmetics, a bunch of bronze and power. If you do this in the exact order I'm telling you, you will unlock every major cosmetic for Phase 1, power source, and easy achievements available to you without wasting any time. So go crush it, ladies and gentlemen. If you learned anything in this video, comment Legion Remix hype in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. Well, also, do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Comeback Kids are doing a Midnight Epic Edition free giveaway. So click the link in the description below. Follow some of our other platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X, because we are posting on there now. Greatly increase the chance you get this awesome prize from the Comeback Kids. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing or check out one of the videos you see on screen here to stay up to date on all things Warcraft. My name's Sky for the Comeback Kids. It's an absolute pleasure to make content for you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.